G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an anti-armor plasma cutter with 40% faster swing speed and 25% less VATS action point cost per swing. Notice how I said per swing and not per shot, because we won't be firing at this at anybody, but if we do want to stop using it for its intended purpose, I suppose we could take the plasma cartridge that is probably powering this thing out and use it as a back scratcher, but I think we'll be working out just fine. Going over the legendary effects one by one, I quite like the anti-armor prefix on melee weapons because it's got a very strong synergy with the Incisor perk, which that thing alone at rank 3 gives you 75% armor reduction, which is massive, and then you add another 50% onto that. It'll probably get you to somewhere closer to 100. It's not going to stack to 125%, otherwise you'll get into weird territory there where you're passing through armor that's not there and paradoxes and game crashes. It's not nice. The 40% faster swing speed is just the best thing to have on a melee weapon because it just gives you a huge DPS boost. It's massive. It's 40% faster. Good. It's like a multiplier, I suppose. And a 25% less VATS action point cost. The VATS enhanced tertiary on this is actually really great because if you want to get a lot of damage out of your melee weapons these days, you have to rely on the VATS inducing legendary perks, which we'll have a look at later. But basically, if you can use this thing in VATS more, that means you'll have a chance to roll that extra damage a little bit more, and that'll be effective in a combat. And you can run around and sprint and everything and deplete your AP bar, and this thing will take up less of that. So there might be less downtime between kills. We'll have to see how we go. Doing 102 ballistic and energy damage with this thing. We've got the shocking blade today. I think we used the flaming blade last time. We've already got the bloody mess on, so real damage reference is 96 and 91. I wonder why bloody mess is boosting them to the same despite being different numbers. Interesting. There might be some... Is it cooked? I don't know, but that's a revelation that I left in there. It was all deliberate. Normally, I wouldn't have the perk. I'd have all the damage perks unequipped so we can see a before and after. But now, yeah, the energy damage is like getting more than the ballistic. What's up with that? That's really weird. So we could get ourselves under Nerd Rage threshold to push out even more damage with this thing. I'm gonna whack this on because that'll give me slightly more strength, and then now we're getting 28 strength. It's pretty good. We could go a lot higher than that for sure, but I suppose we should take a look at some other perks. We've got Radical, that's good for, I forgot Rads don't have any right now. Got Adamantium Skeleton, good for tanking, going to be sneaking and using Ninja. Sneak attack criticals are going to be great. Got Bloody Mess for damage, obviously. Critical Savvy is there so I can get a little bit more criticals out of this. We've also got Serendipity. Could possibly go away for something like... I don't know, maybe we'd chuck in better criticals there because I won't be using that. But if we happen to get into Nerd Rage threshold and have all that extra damage, I'm not going to say no. Perhaps 3 ranks in Grim Reaper Sprint would have been a bit of a better choice here. That's okay. Alright, so going over the legendary perks. So that's not going to apply here, but this one is 50% chance for melee VATS to do area damage. That's a massive damage boost, and if we kill them, 20% chance that they explode, and if we block, we get that. We won't be blocking because I never do. I've actually replaced it in live, but I was actually able to upgrade it fully in the PTS, and I still don't bloody use it, so that allows me to shift that perk out. We're just going to resist poison when this thing rolls around to live. So yeah, that's our damage, 126, 146. Not bad, seen better, but that's okay. It's anti-armor, we're at full health. Okay, so here we are inside of the Krusty Krab, and we've got our plasma cutter, and this is how fast it swings. Note that it makes some cool lightsabery type noises, but we're going to spend most of this time just creeping about. Basically, we're creeping death, and that's a one-shot kill with an explosion. Strong start there, and we got kind of lucky there with the explosion to deal that much damage, and for some reason we managed to get a headshot despite me crouching, and a power attack seemed to do him in one shot. Super Mutant Champion 904, see you later. Alright, so one-shotting stuff at full health with sneak crits. Gotta tell ya, quite liking this so far. Alright. Let's increase the pressure a little bit here. Let's try to sprint around and use this more of a frontline role because we've got all of this health we could use. Okay, that guy did notice me. Alright, super mutants are all blind apparently. The Krabby Patties have made them have made their eyes lose function. But we'll keep on running around and we're out of AP. That's okay, we can just hit him like this. If I had Dodgy right now, would even be more out of AP. Now we did chuck on Rejuvenated just to get a little bit of extra health out there. I've got a dense chest piece that I could utilize right now with some AP regen on it, which I think I might go for. One of the harder things to deal with if you're going for a dedicated melee build is that sometimes you want the extra damage, so having that extra strength instead of AP regen is useful, but you know, at the same time you're going to be missing out on damage and you want to do as much damage as possible at all times. But sometimes maybe, yeah, I don't have a set of full AP regen on yielding stuff. Actually, I think I do, but mostly I use the strength giving stuff. And it works most of the time. If I was under Nerd Rage 2, that would give me a little bit of an AP recharge boost as well, which I think is super useful to have. And we've been taken down quite a lot for our health. Serendipity is finally active now, and that is Nerd Rage. Yep, indeed. Look at that, 43 strength now. So yeah, this is as the thing on it, the AP refresh, which I think I could probably chuck that on now just to get the AP coming back a little bit faster. So with all that, adrenaline full, under Nerd Rage, doing 241. It's nice. It's actually quite a lot of damage. And if we were doing that with sneaking, and then we'd look better. What the hell's going on here? Okay, so we're at the Ghoul Club right now. That's what it says, right? And probably should just give myself a heal here so I don't die and look like a dumbass. But I'm just going to sneak through here. We'll chop everything up with the lightsabers and then we'll see where we go. There we go, there's a one-shot kill. Not picking up Troubleshooter's double barrel at all. We'll try to get an explosion because you can cast the explosions down through the things. And they're reaching a pretty big explosion. That actually managed to hear all the ghouls die in that swing. Killed a lot that I didn't see just then. We'll keep on going. Can't hit that one because a bit of his model is through the wall and the game does not compute that. But yep, so we're getting into like the kind of weird crowd control situation that these legendary perks allow you to do. And Far-Flung Fireworks doesn't do it like this, so maybe, yeah, these are all dead. Interesting. For some reason, Far-Flung Fireworks doesn't have nearly as large of a radius, or maybe it just casts the explosion around you, or in a way that makes it go through geometry like that, because obviously your enemies are exploding, but if you're hitting them in vats and they're exploding, they're right next to you, so maybe it puts the explosion a bit lower than what it ought to be. And we were very close to being clawed by that ghoul, but no problems here. Should probably save the low health stuff for the bloodied swing speed variant if I am ever going to do that. So we'll just top up the health again and we'll move on. But basically the same thing would have happened anyway, I think, at full health, because we're just hitting those super mutants back then in the super mutant Krabby Patty place that hard. You see that? Bambi's moonwalking. Get out of here. Hold on, I see a rad scorpion. I'm gonna put some insect repellent and then realize that scorpions aren't insects because they've got 8 legs. They're actually like spiders, you see. They're arthropods. Now I've got to play whack-a-mole. Can't see how this could possibly go terribly wrong. One step ahead of you, mate. And we managed to kill him without him hitting us. That's nice. Okay, I'm interested to experiment what the power of this thing is against the big baddies without having massive chunks of my health missing. So we'll continue just to hitman this, chop him. Person on the banjo gets out an axe, has no chance to even swing it before I've already dealt with them. And since we're all hitmanning this, don't think you're pressing that button today, mate. Oh, crazy laser gun guy's out. We've got to be super sneaky now, otherwise you'll eat our asses until our head caves in. That's not good. They'll get ya. Look out. He even added instigating switchblade on him. Good for him. And with all of that, full adrenaline. Okay, so the doggeroos are just supplementaries, I suppose. A little bit of a punishment for breaking your stealth, even though they just award you more XP at less of a risk. Alright, so Vatsing Swan might be difficult here, because he might be standing in dark water, deep water actually. The color of the water really doesn't matter here. So we'll just whack him like that and get done with him very, very quickly there. Interesting. Very powerful. I'm liking this quite a lot, actually. I'm thinking to myself that there's no reason why I'd want to daily this thing, because I've got such a powerful Power Fist already, but it's just going that well. Kudos to the one who suggested it. I'm actually having a bit of fun here. Important note if you want to try this at home, if you've got a plasma cutter thingy sword. If you're going to want to spam against the Mirelurk Queen and Vats, just make sure you're in first person. Alright then, that was the anti-stealth Mirelurk and all of his glorious powers and abilities. And see, none of the other ones even seem to know. If you're targeting a thing and you gotta tilt the camera up like that, the camera will go underwater and break your Vats lock. So we gotta remember to go in a first person there. Come on, come here. Dear oh dear, 4 hits and you're dead. Very nice. I can appreciate that DPS there. The Mirelurk Kings are no pushovers. Now we'll assassinate these guys. Having a Durry with a gas mask. Well, they'd like smoking the Durry through the gas mask. Wouldn't that just filter a lot of it out? No wonder they're so bloody mad. They don't even know how to smoke properly. Yeah, a bit too late for screaming now, don't you think? And that one, despite being in caution, was trying to play it cool. But don't worry, we noticed. And we'll have another crab somewhere. We'll possibly gain some radiation here. But that's okay. We can deal with it. And now we just gotta find the Mirelurk Queen. Not a very hard thing to spot. Died! Giant crustacean. Don't know what's going on right now. Managing to keep myself in caution and... never mind, still got wrecked. But we do better. Now, really important thing to note about that situation was, if I was using an unarmed weapon there, well, the Mirelurk Queen probably wouldn't have killed me as fast, really at all, actually, because we could utilize Barbarian, which gives me a bit of extra defensive bonuses. See, there it is. It's a lot. Max 80 on the old ballistic thing, and then blocker as well, which is a lot more important. Take 45% less damage from a melee attack, so basically slashing her damage in half. We could have out-tanked her then, but since we don't have that option, then we just died. Now, another thing we could utilize is power armor. We could have all of that extra bonus there, but I'm thinking that my strength actually might be higher outside of power armor than it is in, and that's not where fusion cores go, and apparently that was a sneak attack critical on the power armor. Righto then. So if we hop inside, strength is 19. So we end up losing a bunch of damage, but we gain all of the defensive powers of the armor. I'm going to prefer the offense over defense. I think a Skyrim guide said that that's a good idea. And I think that's a big reason that people just simply prefer unarmed weapons. Also, I think the strength additive bonus is a bit stronger on the unarmed stuff as well. Not with punching, though. You barely do any damage at all, unfortunately. We'll go the standard procedure of shooting these dudes in the wings until they drop, which apparently this one was keen to. Must have been holding on to something up there. I'm sure he's fine now. And then we'll just, like, whack it in the bum. Now, if we happen to get at a lower health thing, we'll get some more extra agility and derive stats from that. Extra AP. Extra strength for killing, because I'm thinking with that Mirelurk Queen before, we kind of just sat there and hit her for a very long time. And if we were using a bloodied one, maybe with that extra damage and less time with us to get detected and more agility to stop me from being detected, we probably would have survived that. Could have done a stim pack though. I noticed my health was at a low point for a bit, and you know, maybe the death was my fault. But I'm thinking we wouldn't have had to deal with that death without medication or anything if I was to utilize a bloodied version. But maybe we'll get to that later, not for a long time. Alright, got another one here. That was a nice set of pellets locking onto that one. And you're not going to land, so we'll keep on shooting you. You're going to hover. You've moved on, which would lead me to believe that you're ready to drop. See, I'm a Scorch Beast Whisperer. I still know what they're doing. See? Like a book, mate. Read them like a book. Get here. No, there's nothing more awkward than a camera trying to track a gigantic creature for smashing in vats like that. You just teleport forward, you can barely bloody see anything. That Mirelurk Queen fight is like basically that vibe times 100. Alright, let's see if we can't pull anything out of here. If we can, we'll boop him on the nose until it's dead. No vats this time, just power attacks. Never mind, that didn't go very well at all. We might be able to shoot this one out of the air with our shotguns, actually. No way. A little bit too much. Can't believe all of... Ooh, I just missed a 90% shot. No lottery tickets for me today. Alright, we'll deal with you in a second. You first. Now you. Chop! There we go. And with 911 points of damage dealt to that in the face, I'd say that's enough for this thing. So I didn't quite enjoy this thing. If we had a little bit more damage with a slightly better prefix, maybe we would have done a little bit better. But that is not to say that this thing hasn't been an effective weapon. I would certainly consider using this daily if, you know, the unarmed weapons in this game weren't just objectively superior thanks to the perk placement and what you can do with your other strength points, since, you know, we're not taking up bloody 9 just to feed the weapon's damage, right? But it's a good one if you are looking to do some good work with a gladiator weapon and power armor. I wouldn't look further than a plasma cutter at this point. Plus the novelty of having a weapon that isn't so widely available and traded or duped by anyone. You know, someone will see that you out there and think, hey, that's a cool weapon, maybe I'll grind for that myself. And they'll do the daily ops for 14 days in a row and get nothing but cage ball blight plans. It happens to all of us, don't worry. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Probably wouldn't let it go, even if you could trade these things, because I've actually enjoyed it. It's just a shame that these things will never come anywhere near close to being what unarmed weapons are due to the aforementioned problems. But still, it's good. Thank you very much for watching, guys.